Michael Grossman is a fourth-generation retailer at Kensington Furniture, a 106-year-old retail store in suburban Atlantic City, New Jersey. Throughout his years at Kensington, Michael attended over 82 High Point markets and purchased from over 4,000 living rooms, 1,500 bedrooms, 1,200 dining rooms, plus thousands of other furniture and mattress products. He is a born and bred furniture expert, navigating the greatest consumer habit changes in Kensington Furniture's 106-year history. In addition to being a retailer, Michael consults with manufacturers and top 100 retailers. Please welcome Michael Grossman, owner of Kensington Furniture.
Hey guys, how are you? Good afternoon. I'm going to try to navigate both this thing and the speech. I'm a furniture retailer. I'm not a professional speaker, so please bear with me if I look like I don't do this every day. I am a furniture man. I am Michael from New Jersey. I am a fourth-generation brick-and-mortar, single-store legacy retailer located in suburban Atlantic City, a region recently recognized by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce as one of the most challenged economic areas to do business in the United States. I am here today to represent over 7,000 of me across the United States, small, independent, legacy, family, brick-and-mortar retailers trying to navigate what is right now the dawn of the digital age. I represent retailers that typically do not speak at this conference. Retailers that aren't typically on the cover of Furniture Today or invited to prestigious panels. I represent the retailers that are the backbone of our industry. I represent generations of families, furniture men and women who are trying to figure this thing out. I ask you guys, do I look like caveman walking? Am I doomed? Am I toast? Am I a dead furniture retailer and I just don't know it? Should I be scared? Should I be scared that we've always had dominant predators like Levitt, Siemens, Furnitureland South, these dominant retailers who had a deep talent bench, who had the ability to navigate change and spend oodles of dollars on mass media advertising, driving their customers to their stores. But what has happened? What's different? What's different is that the customer has changed. This customer, the one who we have marketed to, the one we have sold to, the one we have serviced, has fundamentally changed. It is as if this customer that we have known, who's spoken English all these years, now speaks Mandarin. And we have to speak differently to this customer. And what's worse, there's a new breed of predator, one who knows how to speak Mandarin to this customer. Predators like Amazon, Wayfair, and yes, Renegade, Coleman Furniture. We must not feel, what's a retailer to do? We must not feel defeated. We must not keep our head in the sand. We must not have limited thinking. These are all lethal, and it all starts with our mindset. We must take our huge experience advantage and match that with the right thinking. Yes, it's a bit rah-rah, but with the right mindset that we work on like diet and exercise every day, I believe that we can compete and we can win. It all started for me at my family business at Old Kensington 106 years ago in suburban Atlantic City. And today, we are located in Northfield, New Jersey, at the same location since 1968. I started my career when Ronald Reagan was president, and today, Donald Trump, to talk about how times have changed. One of the biggest changes to happen to society, to the rest of us, is the internet. The internet is the greatest foundational change to not just furniture retailers, but to society since the printing press, since the wheel, since fire. The internet has really changed everything about how we operate our business. I, as an independent furniture retailer, am a coconut juggler. every day I am conflicted with different responsibilities. I am an owner, I am a customer experience manager, I am CMO, CFO, sales leader, chief heart operating officer. Every day I am intimately involved in the operation of my business, and moreover, to speak to my experience that the video talked about, I went to 82 High Point markets. I've looked at these number of sofas, these number of dining rooms, these number of bedrooms, and I've asked countless furniture representatives if they know good salespeople. And they never give me a good answer. So I've got to do that myself. Now I ask you, can you teach an old dog new tricks? Well, my answer is, if this old dog plans on being around, I have to change. Change is tough, but extinction is worse. Now, how do I deal with that? My moat, our independent furniture retailers' moat, is our brand. And our brand equals trust. It's, are we delivering on the promise that we gave to our customer? Are we living up to the expectations? We have to look at every touch point that we hit our customer and think about, how can we do it one better? How can we invent the way that we touch our customer as an independent furniture retailer? Because retail is not dead. Mediocre retail experiences are. I have to consider myself at Kensington Furniture as the difference between Fenway Park and a stadium. Fenway Park is history, it's legacy, it's tradition. I am Giuliana's Pizza in Brooklyn versus Domino's. Giuliana's Pizza, everyone knows. They stand in line. The pizza maker's there at the oven, and the pizza's famous. Well, my store, my experience, the way that my customers feel about us has to be like that. I have to think small, grind, and grow big. I have to think about, from person to person, what I'm doing in terms of every interaction. And it starts with the culture. The culture is, for an independent furniture retailer to survive, we have to have a team of people that work at the store that have energy, that are able to communicate to this customer and represent the brand and deliver on the promise. We have to surprise and delight through having the energy, by being communicative to your people, making sure that they talk about the touch points with each customer and that they surprise and delight, that they do one extra, they one better. We live in a world, we talked about Instagram earlier. Am I selfie worthy? See, it's not about being at the place, it's about taking the picture at the place. Well, is the experience, the touch points of my customer, with my customer, my store, am I selfie worthy? Moreover, I have to market to the store swings. I cannot compete as an independent legacy brick and mortar store with e-commerce. It's just not going to happen. So I have to think about it in terms of, am I going to get a customer into my store, and what ways do I get the customer into my store? And I have to market the door swings. Year to date, we have 34% increase in door traffic in our store based on the way that we're approaching how we operate and market to our customer. We have to market like the year we live. As an independent brick and mortar retailer, I cannot be nostalgic. We have to defeat the thinking that says, this is the way we've always done it. This is what makes me successful. I'm not comfortable marketing that way. These are, once again, lethal mindsets that can really impact what we're going to do. We have to think about the way that we talk about the sales, this customer's path to purchase. You used to talk about it's a funnel, as if she comes, you market her, she comes to the website visits equals store visits. Well, that is not true anymore. It's more like a flywheel, that a customer is coming from all different directions, and we have to be adept, adapt, nimble, be able to capture in all the different ways. They use the word omnichannel, okay? Why did Bonnie and Clyde rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Why am I on social media? Because that's where my customers are. We used to be able to, let's say I'm a retailer and the beach is the customer and I have a house on the beach and I'm speaking to that customer's house on a beach. Well, there's been a tsunami, an earthquake. I'm 3 blocks off the beach. I can't be thinking I'm still on the beach if I'm marketing like I used to. As we used to. We have to take a different approach and use all these different platforms and be adept and use the platforms in the context with which they were intended to speak to your customer. We have to be hyper-local in our marketing. What does hyper-local means? Take a 30-mile circle around my store and own it. Don't let anyone come close to operating it. Looking at all the zip codes in that 30-mile radius and then understanding the 3-year trend of customers who bought in each of those zip codes. Then do a demographic study and understand what's the average household income, what's the population, what's the average house value, and then how do I market individually to each of the people in those zip codes. I just can't throw up an ad anymore and expect it to have the same result that it used to have. Gordon Moore in 1965 talked about the doubling of processing speed every year. And this has been a concept that's been applied to Silicon Valley and others about the speed of change and the speed of the internet. Well, Moore's law applies to market fragmentation. If you think on June 12, 2019, it is difficult to reach those that want to come to my furniture store, what's going to be like in 2 years? As more platforms become adept, as customers become more splintered, and they find more stuff that is of their particular interest, and they don't have to be generalists in what they do. We have to speak to our customer in the context with which they want. If our #1 zip code is Egg Harbor Township, and I know that Egg Harbor Township is going to buy a Lottie Darcy sofas at $299, I'm going to put an ad out that says, hey, Egg Harbor Township, come get the Darcy for $299. It is far different than just doing a general ad, and those type of things gain traction for us. We have to use hyper-local logistics. What does that mean? I've been delivering furniture for 30 years, okay? Jake Jobs recently in Furniture Today was quoted as saying that when people buy from Amazon, how many people have problems? Well, how can I use that delivery experience as a competitive advantage? You talk about the cost of delivery, how can we make the experience just awesome? Hyper-local influencers. In that 30-mile radius, how many people have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers on their Instagram or Facebook page? How do we connect to those influencers and connect them with our brand and be able to promote their brand? We have this guy, his name is Nor'easter Nick. He's a weatherman. He has about 20,000 followers locally. People follow him for all the weather things. Made a connection with Nor'easter Nick. He came in the store, he demonstrated a bedgear pillow and went through the process of pillow fitting, okay? Created lots of traction. There's more guys like that. We have to think small. We have to think nimble. We have to be able to own our territory and not accept that we are in trouble, okay? We have to have hyper-local focus every day. The heart of it is our CRM. Our CRM is HubSpot. And that is the way that we communicate to our customer on a daily basis. We use our email list to be able to speak to a specific customer in a voice that she cares about merchandise and information that she cares about. We make sure to balance when we do speak to our customer in 2 different kinds of ways, between content and advertising. I'm an old retailer. I love to advertise. I love it, okay? But if I don't do content to balance advertising, where everything isn't a come on, where I'm giving information, I'm adding value, I'm educating, I am resisting the urge to have her come in, but more to inform her. And to balance content and advertising makes the advertising that much more powerful in today's day and age. And by using HubSpot, we communicate emails of all sorts to our customer on a regular basis, based on her age, if she's a mom, if she's single, if she's an empty nester, what type of product that she looked at, and really go deep and narrow in how we speak to the customer. We stay hyper close to the customer. What that means, sales floor, you listen to the customer, you talk to delivery drivers, you understand what the voice of your customer is, and you stay as close as possible to them using the advantage of being small. You understand her by listening to her. You're able to communicate to her. You're able to be in touch with her. You show her love. We need to show her love. We need to be there for her. We need to, moreover, you heard it in other words, I can't think furniture store. I am not a furniture store. If I think furniture store, once again, that is the wrong thinking. I have to think community store. As an example, a couple months ago, we were able to have local women volunteers create an event where we gave away nearly 2,000 prom dresses to women girls who needed it because they couldn't afford to buy a prom dress. So all since January, people would come into the store and they drop off their prom dresses, which gave us an opportunity to connect with those who donated. And then the day of the event, there was tons of volunteers and women that came into the store that exposed us. A community store, like they said, is a store that customers want to hang out at. It's a store that's connected to the members of the community, and it's a store that cares. We have to out-innovate by bringing accessories to the customer's home and then deciding what they want, by thinking of different ways when we go on delivery to be able to offer options. There is every touch point, and how can I do something different? How can I try it? And by the way, it doesn't have to be rocket science. If it doesn't work, try something else. Be nimble, keep punching, okay? Out merchandise. Take an awesome line like Ashley Furniture. Do not be a margin pig with it. Use it to drive business, and then be like my great-grandfather and be a merchant prince and get a navigational map of step-up merchandise so that you can balance the advantage of Ashley with a well-merchandised store and make your store interesting. Out relationship. Know that in that 30-mile radius, no one is going to beat us in how the customer feels about us and who we know. I am going to out-market. I am not going to be corporate. I'm not going to be generic. I'm going to be hyper-local. Human touch. Human touch. Legacy, 106 years. I am going to out-content. We make sure that we have 3 separate Facebook pages. One for an outlet customer, which is a promotional customer, one that's general, Kensington, and one that's Kensington Design Services for our high-end customer, so that the outlet customer isn't turned off by the design services or vice versa. And we make sure that we have a schedule of content on a daily basis that we post to each of these things. And moreover, we buy audiences on social media. And we think about the audiences that we're going to speak to, and then we create content to match those audiences. We think about the way that we talk about advertising. Advertising is a line item. And we take and invest in human capital like Liz and Heather, who are awesome, who I thank, that are here today, that help us execute this. Because remember, I've got to surround myself with millennials. Because remember, I'm furniture man. I'm an old dude. I got to have people that I know what they're doing. I've got to outwork. I'm sorry. This is a war. This is a serious time for we independent legacy furniture brick and mortar retailers, and you can no longer work at the pace you used to. You have to outwork. You have to be able to not let them take it out on us. I have to outfight. Sure, this is a difficult time, but I'm not going to be passive. I'm going to punch back, okay? I'm not going to take it. And you know what? That's all in one day of Furniture Man. Every day, rinse and repeat. Nauseating, repetitive. Rinse and repeat. Keep on doing it. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am not for others, what am I? If not now, when? I am Furniture Man, Michael from New Jersey.
Talk about don't be boring. Who's got a question for Michael?
Yes.
Everybody's so excited they can't ask a question. That's pretty great.
Look, I'm not taking questions, guys. So have a good day and good luck, everybody.
All the secrets have been given away.
I was just getting ready to email you. You did great up there.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm serious, guys. You hear a lot of buzzwords. You hear a lot of philosophy. We do not have to be dead. We have the advantage. We have the things that these digitally native people have. We have stores. We have legacy. We have history of customers. We're just going to lose because we're going to think everyone's telling us we have to. That's bullshit. Okay?
Damn right.
So, thank you, Renegade. Thank you for this fine conference, and we appreciate what you're doing.
Sounds like we got another renegade.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.